Hello, hope everyone is having a good day. I wanted to talk about another aspect of this journey that is not something I was ever anticipating, but has been probably the hardest part of all of it. And you would think that the hardest part would be coming to terms with the possible death of your child, but no, that's not even close to the hardest part for me. And something happened today that has prompted me to kind of come out about all of this. And I think it's probably different for everybody on what is the hardest part, but for me, the interpersonal relationships with the people, especially family, and your closest ones, like your husband and close friends, I think those have been the most affected by all of this stuff with the trisomy 18 diagnosis and really just people's inability and just lack of capability of being able to handle it emotionally and be there for me or anyone else, because I've also heard that this isn't just an issue with that's common just to me. It's very common in all of the trisomy groups, support groups that I'm in, that people have a really hard time with knowing how to talk about it, how to be there for people. Um, and I have experienced much of the same, which has been extremely, extremely hard. Because you would think that this time of all times would be the one time that the people that you think care about you and love you would be present. And I'm probably going to get emotional about it. But it's really hard. And when you see your family do things and say things to you that are completely out of step with reality of what's going on, because they don't want to know, they don't care to ask what's going on with your part of your life, and that's hard. It's hard to have to look to other people and not be able to look to the ones that you think you should normally. But sometimes that's life too. So having to find the support that you need in the areas where you need it is so important through this stuff. And I've thankfully been able to do that outside of family. Um, my friends have been amazing. My all of the people that I have locally here in the valley, my support groups, my other trisomy 18 moms, my other mom friends, they get it and they're present and they understand what the concept of emotional support is. And they are there. They let you cry, they let you laugh, they help you. I've had people buy me groceries because I needed it. Um, they just, they're there and they get it. And I'm so thankful for that, because I don't think I would have been able to get to this point of kind of acceptance with the situation and without that support at all. And I think, I try to put myself in my family's shoes a lot to try and understand why this would be the way they choose to react to the situation. And I can see how, we have a lot of actual physical distance between us. I'm in Texas, they're in California. I can see how physically not being there is challenging for them as well. I would want to physically be there. Um, but in terms of that, I don't really understand how someone can't pick up the phone and have a conversation and check in on somebody a couple times a week. I don't really get that. What I've been met with is criticisms and anger and telling me that I don't have a right to feel the way that I feel. I'm not allowed to be upset about things. I'm not allowed to call them out on their behavior that's not okay. But they continue to attack me for the behaviors that they believe are like me being upset. I'm not allowed to be upset, right? And the part that I don't talk about a lot, but the people closest to me know about, is just the way that this has affected my marriage, and the fact that I was served with divorce papers a few weeks ago, and I am going through a divorce right now, just a couple weeks out from giving birth, which is insane. But and I can't talk about all of those specifics because of all of the stuff that's going on with the judges and everything. But it's sad, and this situation's really, really hard. And I see that, depending on the emotional strength and capabilities of each person, how they're able to kind of handle it and how they're not. And, I've looked a lot to my trisomy groups and the fellow mothers that have gone through this already, both having lost kids and have kids who are still alive. And marriage issues are not uncommon. It's pretty common that a lot of the marriages eventually erode just because it's high stress. It's a difficult situation. Not everybody knows how to handle their emotions well, and if you're not somebody who communicates um, your feelings in general, I mean, you don't have to do it by a video, but just talking to somebody, if you don't do that, this stuff will eat you up. Um, and unfortunately, I think that's a lot of what I have been seeing happen. And I've had to try to just, my best of my abilities, is focus on what's important. And what's important right now is my health, taking care of Leilani, making sure that she's as happy as possible and keeping her schedule as consistent as possible, and making sure that I'm doing what I need to do to take care of Ayana, doctor's appointments and eating, sleeping, like all those things go out the window when you're upset. So I have to really be mindful about those things and make sure that I'm doing them, and that she's getting the care that needs and not being neglected because of all of the crap that's going on around me. And then also just preparing mentally for what I'm about to go into. Giving birth is not an easy thing to begin with, and giving birth in this situation with so much uncertainty is extremely difficult. So preparing for that, and also just preparing now for what my next step is, because I am going to be a single mom, and I am going to be taking care of potentially two kids, one for sure, and I need to figure out where I'm going to be doing that and how I'm going to be doing that, and how to do that in the way that's best for them and also for myself. And the reason that I even felt compelled to talk about this today was because I got an email from my father, and it just blows my mind. It blows my mind. It's hard for me to try to understand someone's perspective when they are just so not in touch with reality. And I don't really understand how someone doesn't just reach out and say, "What's going on? How are things going?" Like, how do you not listen and want to hear what's happening before you've made up your mind about your own stuff? So, I don't know. I honestly don't know what to say about that. And I think at this point, I've had to kind of draw boundaries with people, very specific people, because they just haven't been capable of being around in an emotional way. They're upset when I don't want to take their advice. It's like, I'm sorry, but you can't give advice on this situation. This just isn't that kind of thing. So, unfortunately, sometimes being healthy means you have to set boundaries with people. And it's sad because I would like those people to be around, but I don't think they're capable of it right now. So, boundaries are drawn, and I am just so thankful for the people that I do have. You guys know exactly who you are, but I can't tell you how helpful it's been, and how much I appreciate just people listening every now and then. That's it. That's all anyone ever needs. In any hard situation, call them, tell them you love them, ask them how they're doing, and just listen. That's it. That's the best way to help somebody. It's the most simplest and easiest free thing you could ever do for somebody. Just listen and be loving. So I'm hoping that this will help someone else, be there for someone else in time of need. And if you have a person like that, call them, text them, just do it right now. That's all that they want to hear, and do it consistently. So I hope everyone has a great rest of your day, and we are doing maternity photos later tonight, so I'm very excited for that. And I will post a couple of those later. All right, take care.